Should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It seems like only yesterday we were here for Super Bowl 52 and now back for the road to the Super Bowl here in the Twin Cities at U.S. Bank Stadium. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has, and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
He didn't have as many throws or plays in college as many of the quarterbacks that were coming out in the draft, but he maximized what he had. Ended up winning 2 national championships as a starting quarterback at North Dakota State.
Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. Quickly now, a look at the Eagles' offensive starters.
And what a tough environment to roll into. On the road, playing one of the better teams in the league, obviously, because this is the playoffs. So what do teams talk about? Bringing their own momentum, bringing their own energy on the road, because you know you won't get any from the home crowd.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Wentz going to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. Saquon Barkley deep to return. This is brought in at the 21. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position, 1st and 10. So excellent starting position here for the Vikings. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on. We know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so fun? What did the offensive coordinator say right off the top? He's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
On 2nd down now. It's Cook. And down inside the 15 he goes. 12 yards there. 1st down Vikings. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers.
And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen there to make the grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, we knew they had the crowd on their side. Their defense has already made a stop, and now here's an opening drive touchdown.
Yeah, how about the defense? Making the stop, offense feeling their momentum that they've generated and turning it into points on their side. So now you've got a team working together, and you got the crowd involved fully on their side in this ball game.
And in this playoff atmosphere, that 12th man means even more. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, 69 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do?
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Good stuff. Keep going.
They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Wentz to throw. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. That's caught by Penny. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 4th down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
A big play there on the catch and run. 74 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Looking to throw. Carmichael. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. From 4 yards out. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. They'll need to come from behind if they want to play in 2 weeks as they trail early in this NFC Championship game. Now a play fake here on 1st down.
Now we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Carmichael. That is caught at the 7. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30.
Watch the pass.
Operating from the gun. Carmichael. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. From the 15 now after the sack. It's 3rd and goal. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. That pick hurts a little extra because it was third down. You were already in field goal range.
You know what he's going to hear all night, all next week? Situational football. Understand what's going on, because you expressed it perfectly. 3 points were in their hip pocket. They had those. Now, those went by the wayside. You cannot make those kind of mistakes.
That's what you call a rookie mistake. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Play action. Now wins. And complete to Zach Ertz. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And out on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And now off to the races down the right side. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say, I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. And this is good for a first down, his second grab in this NFC Championship bout.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And now it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Rashad Penny. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. It's wearing the tight end with it. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing is Wentz. They set up the screen to Penny. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. 2 minutes remain in the first half of this NFC Championship. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. In a bit, the coach is with us per usual as we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
Come on, set.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he's looked pretty good. He does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of the season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
But he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let it just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground incomplete.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. This will be caught inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
Offense.
Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
Let's go. 18, Gator. Hey, Haywood. Hey, Jet. Big grip.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Going deep, and that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 31 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off the squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Let's get in there. Let's get in there.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. So we've reached halftime. Who will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl? 2 more quarters to go. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. As always, one half remains in the battle to see who will take home that George Halas Trophy and represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. But first.
Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. The Halas Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And they have made this look easy. I mean, there's not supposed to be anything easy about the NFL playoffs, but this lead, yes, they're at home, but this has been impressive.
And we hear all the time when upsets happen, teams go on the road, that maybe home field advantage isn't all it's cracked up to be. But you and I both know the reality is teams really fight hard to get it. Why? You don't ever have to change routine. Everything's familiar going into the game. It makes things easier, and that has paid off for them in a big way in this contest.
It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now a run with Cook, and an alley to run. Cook with a first down and much more. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
A first down carry for Barkley. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. Touchdown, Vikings. Chris Godwin, 30 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Well, something about this team, you just felt like they were one of destiny all season long. And they made themselves today, as you can see, the class of the NFC.
Yeah, and it's starting to look more and more like the Super Bowl trip is very much in their future.
And the fans starting to book those tickets. The extra point splits the uprights, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll run with Penny. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like... we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. Dances by him. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
94.
Again, it's Barkley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. But that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in base...
This is intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he's brought down. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? So it's challenge time. The referee's tablet coming out. And the big question, Charles, did that football break the plane to the goal line?
They just need any part of the ball to cross the goal line in order for it to count. Remember, it's got to be indisputable, though. Sometimes we think it's going to be there. We can't really find it on the tablet. So we'll see what the final call is going to be.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really... Boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for first and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On second and very short. Wentz caught by the tight end Ertz. And this is good for a first down. His second grab of this NFC Championship bout.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to run.
And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we get that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Wentz now to throw, and he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And he's going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here we go.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Down to lose 1.
One quarter remains until the NFC crowns its champion. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Working from the gun, Wentz. It's brought in by Jeffrey. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I'm care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Wentz now on first down. This one brought in by the 6'5" tight end Waring. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. This is Penny. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Wentz. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all, and if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
He juked him, and he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 13-yard line. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
You're going to see me in your nightmares, son. You're going to see me in your nightmares.
They'll run on first down. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll look to throw. And a little floater there is incomplete.
See, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter, maybe you do start to... And he will score! Touchdown, Vikings! From 3 yards out. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in how their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
On 2nd and 10, Wentz looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
60 Pittsburgh.
On first down, Barkley. And he'll get it down this time to 17. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And for all these guys, whether you're a rookie, a 10-year veteran, there's no feeling like this NFC champs.
And you feel like family. Never at any time do you feel more like family than when you're sharing the joy of being the NFC champs. And now everyone gets to say they're going to the Super Bowl.
And that will do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, we'll see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.